Hello everybody, my name is Michael and welcome back to Dark Souls 1. I started out this playthrough thinking to myself that I was going to be using a plethora of different weapons throughout it just to give you a showcase of that, but I kind of grew pretty lax about that after a while and ended up using the Great Scythe more and more often. And that's just because the Great Scythe is the best dex weapon in the game. It's amazing, it has incredible reach, it's just all around a great weapon. And I wanted to win in the boss fights I was fighting, so, I decided, hey, I'll use this. And I apologize for that because I grew a little too dependent on it. I'm gonna switch back to it eventually, but for now at least I'm going to switch over to the comparatively weaker Gold Tracer. Curved sword used by the Lord's Blade Kirin, one of Lord Gwyn's 4 knights. Kirin brandishes her sword in a mesmerizing dance, etching the darkness with dire streaks of gold. So she would sort of make them see these little golden flashes and get an enemy distracted and then move in for the kill. We're going to be finishing up the Oolacile Township area, but I want to talk about something very peculiar that happened to me as I was running around this area farming these guys. Take a look down here. 2 symbols of avarice. Immediately after I stopped recording last time, I ended up walking over here, and because I wasn't paying attention, I walked right off this cliff like a moron, and I ran, and when I respawned at the bonfire and came back here, I noticed, for some reason, that not only were my souls here, but there was a drop of a symbol of avarice. And I don't understand why. I have no explanation for this. It is as bizarre to me as it is to anyone, because it's not even like we killed all of the mimics. Like, I could see you're supposed to get it when you kill all the mimics, but then sometimes you randomly, if you're lucky, get it as a drop. But there's another mimic in this area that we have to fight. So God knows how the hell that happened. Anyway, let us head down here, and mostly we're going to be unlocking the shortcut to the next area, where Manus shows up. There's one to our right that we're going to be. There we go. But we also want to get a key so we can talk in this episode to Hawkeye Goch, or Hawkeye Go, or Hawkeye Goff. I don't know how you pronounce his name. I only know that Goch was the name of a World War I British general, although I don't know very much about him. I have seen that name before. Take a look at that guy. That guy is a no-good scumbag sorcerer guy, and he is going to try to attack us as we're running across the bridge, and hopefully, with the weighty spells of the abyss, knock us off to our death and cackle like a maniac. Fortunately, we have a bow, and we can do this. Fire not at him, but behind him. And so he's going to turn and look at the sound, and you can run across. I love how smart the designers of this game are. I used to just need 1 hit on these guys, but sadly I now need 2 because I've switched my weapon. But the Gold and Silver Tracer is a really cool weapon. It's got this sort of dance move kind of thing to it. I guess 1 R2 does kill them, so that's something. This weapon, by the way, the Gold and Silver Tracer, the Gold Tracer, is sort of overpowered in PvP. It's quite tough. There's a guy up there waiting to drop down. Hello, sir. And rubbish. So just in case you didn't get the rubbish in the Undead Parish, you can get it here. There is, by the way, only 1 use for rubbish. That is trading it into Snugly for a Titanite chunk, which you can only do 1 time. I almost ran down here without explaining what's going on. If we take a look down here, there is a gigantic room here filled with 1, 2, 3, 4... I don't know, a ton of these guys, including multiple sorceresses. So that's like, 3 or 4 of those sorceresses, 1 in the back here, several over there. There's a whole pile of them around here. And if you go down there and try to fight them, or even if you try to lure them slowly up the stairs, 1 at a time, it goes very, very badly. So what we're going to do is totally avoid it, and just run down here and immediately go right to a door there. And we're just going to avoid that room completely, because there's not really much in it besides the soul of a hero, and We don't want to fight like 20 guys for nothing. Let's just head up here. Be very careful on these stairs here, because you can get hit by some sorceresses as you're going across the stairs, so don't dawdle while you're standing on them. And let us head up here. There's a guy here. Die, you zombie pig. And let us head over here, and we will discover something pretty interesting. I don't know how we're supposed to figure this out, unless we're just supposed to remember from last time, or see a player message, but there's a little area here we can use our light to open up, just like the last time. And there is nothing really of value here. There's just a red titanite chunk. So if you're upgrading fire weapons, it's kind of useful, but it seems a bit pointless. I never really walked over here, now that I think about it. Not that there's any reason to, but it really looks sort of like a decrepit attic up here. I also love the way that Oolacile Township looks. It really resembles a town that is sort of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, a town that's slowly sinking into a quicksand-like abyss. It really feels amazing. Hope I make this jump! Yes, I did. Alrighty, there are 2 of these guys in this room, and also the Mimic. There we go. And one to the left. These guys, by the way, I might have mentioned I was farming them. They can drop large titanite shards with quite a bit of frequency, and there are 6 of them right in that little area right past the bonfire to Oolacile Township. And you can farm this place to your heart's content. Now, this is the Mimic, and it contains the key that we need to talk to Hawkeye Goch. I never realized how little I knew about pronouncing that name until I actually said it aloud here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't want to fuck around with this because I'm not that familiar with the gold tracer. It is an excellent weapon. Let's take a look at that key, though, the crest key. Not much about it. Doesn't really say too much of interest about it. Now head over here, and this is the area that we came up here through. Well, let's just go this way and make a right. And we can get a twin humanity right down here. There we go. So that's pretty useful. And what we are going to be doing is jumping down here, and then immediately, as soon as we get down there, we are going to go straight and then left. Just follow me. There are a couple guys down here, so just be aware of that, and we can unlock the shortcut. They're not sorcerers, though, the one that can run out there and attack you. And shortcut is unlocked. That's pretty sweet. And there we go. We're going to talk to Goch later. Goch. G-O-U-G-A. You know, I'm going to call him Go. I'm going to call him Go. That's what I'm going to call him. Hawkeye Go. There we go. And there is a hex in here. Really, I should just call the dark magic things hexes, shouldn't I? I mean, that's pretty much what they are. Come on. It's not these guys I'm worried about, it's the sorcerers. That item straight ahead there, that's actually the, ooh, we got the head, I want to show you this. That's actually the soul of a hero. Let's put this on here. Where are you? Look at this. Why would you ever wear this? I guess if you want to pretend to be a monster. Let's see what kind of resistance is it. 17, not horrible. The head of an Oolacile resident whose humanity went wild after being devoured by the dark of Manus, the hands of fate, I mean the father of the abyss. The bloated head is fissured, the cracks lined with innumerable tiny red eyeballs, with a hard outside and mucus-filled inside. No sane person would ever wear it. Ah! Ew. It's filled with mucus. Why did I put it on my head? Oh my god, why? This is dark fog, I believe. There should be a sorcerer behind me up on that height there. I don't know what the heck happened to him. Slacking. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. I hit one of the Oh. I don't think that was a sorcerer. And here it is, dark fog. We'll take a look at that in a second. Come on. Come on, honey. Oh, he got lost. Oh, that's cute. He got lost. If you're going to go in this room, definitely go from this angle. There he is. I see you. I see you up there. I see you. I think that's dark fog he's casting below us. Or he's trying to cast dark fog on us. Ooh, he can see us from there. Shit. Darn it. Alright. I killed somebody. Somebody's dead. Oh, it's that guy. Alright. Fucking hell. The rolls on those things are awful. Alright. Stay behind the pillars. Fuck me! That was insane, the amount of damage that did. Was it multiple guys hitting me? And that's it. I'm done with this area. Fuck it. Fuck it. There we go. Alright, now let's take a look at that dark fog and see if it says anything interesting about the abyss. And what exactly is this abyss they keep talking about that's people are sinking into, losing the flame of life? Is it sort of like a metaphor for losing the fire, the elan vital that keeps you going through your daily life, your interest in living? Let's see here. Abyss sorcery discovered by an Oolacile sorcerer. Although dark fog is in theory relatively close to humanity, it also appears to be a terrible poison for humans. Perhaps it reflects man's cruelty against its own. Huh. That's kind of weird. And this area is the bane of my existence, because it actually has two of those filthy sorcerer guys in it, if you take a look there and there. And these guys are pretty darn obnoxious. And we can't really just run over there and attack those two sorcerers, because there's one bloathead right in front of us, and two that we can't see. One right here, and one right here at the bottom of some stairs. So if we run out there, it's going to be a fustercluck, and we're going to have to try to use our bow. If you don't have a bow during this sequence, what can I tell you? Why didn't you listen to me all those times and get a bow? There he is. Now, these guys can hit us from where they're standing, but they will, and they will run closer to get a better shot at us. So, just try to... Come on. Dead? Yes. And... Ooh, we can actually see the next guy. I didn't notice that. You can put the hawk ring on if you're worried about not being able to hit these guys, or worried about maybe getting a little too close to them. Dead? Yes, good. Okay, now let's kill these two guys and then go and meet one of the most interesting characters in the entire game. Or not one of the most interesting characters, one of the most interesting monsters in the entire game. There we go. Although maybe he was quite a character one day. I mean, we don't really know. Just behind here, there's a soul of a brave warrior. I don't think there's anything behind the other one. Nope, nothing here. So let's get over here and fight this weirdo. I don't quite... You know what? I'm actually going to switch over... Well... Should I switch over to the... I'm going to switch... Yeah, I'm actually going to switch over to the... to the Great Scythe. I couldn't even go an entire episode not using the Great Scythe. It's pathetic, but I really do need that that reach on this guy. And there he is. I think he's coming over. There he is. He's coming. Look at this guy. There's only one of him in this entire game. And just look at him. He is so bizarre and creepy looking. I mean, what is he? He's some sort of prisoner by his description, And he is very powerful. I mean, this is a tough bastard, as you see. And he has like a ball and chain on one hand, and he's chained up, and he has this weird spike that he uses to fight with, that he can rush at you. What in God's name went on here? What is this? What did they do to this guy? Did the Abyss do this? Did Oolacile do this? Did I forget to count how many swings he had and get hit? Yes. Also, one of the weirdest things, this guy can actually drop the chainmail set. He drops like occasional pieces of the chainmail set. I got nothing. I don't know why he does that. That's pretty bizarre. Oh, he can destroy these statues. I didn't notice it. These statues look a lot like Dusk, by the way. Jesus, this guy hits hard. Took over half my health. Jesus. Come on. They must have just... Maybe they designed this room and they didn't want to just fill it with with a bunch of crap. Like a bunch of those bloatheads. And they just said, you know what? We already had a room span full of those bloatheads. Why don't we just make up something else in here? In Dark Souls 2, that wouldn't have gone that way. In Dark Souls 2, they would have said, fuck it, who cares? Just put whatever crap in there. Just fill some more armored dudes in there. Wow, it actually got almost the entire... Is that the entire... No, I mean, it doesn't... Without the chest piece. Except for the chest piece, that's the entire chain set. So that's pretty bizarre. And, by the way, if you want to just run past this guy, because he is brutal, I don't know if I recommend that. That's pretty tough. This, he will actually follow you down these stairs, and yeah, might be a bit tricky for you. And just go up here, and on the other side of this, we are going to see a bloathead. That's another reason why you shouldn't run past that guy, is because, you know, you'll run down here and then find the bloathead down here, and you'll be trying to get on, trying to fight this guy. He'll be almost killing you. That's happened to me before when I tried to run past him. And we're right next to a new bonfire down here. And this is the Abyss itself, the good old-fashioned Abyss. Just past this point here. There we go. And now I believe we are going to go up and talk to Hawkeye Go. If maybe we can get this crystal lizard here. Come on, boy. Where is you? Chasm of the Abyss. I believe in my Dark Souls 2... we got White Titanite. Neat. In my Dark Souls 2 review, I referred to the Abyss area in that as the Dark Chasm of the Abyss, when in reality this is the Dark Chasm of the Abyss. I was getting my game screwed up. And remember in my episode about the Gravelord Nito, I mentioned that we found White Titanite, the holy Titanite, deep down inside the Gravelord area and the catacombs and the Tomb of the Giants. And that sort of evil area of the undead is where we found the holy stuff. So that was pretty interesting. And we just got from that crystal lizard there 2 pieces of White Titanite. So that's pretty interesting that we also got White Titanite in the Dark Chasm of the Abyss, another area associated with evil and horror. So something that is holy and thus of the gods and of faith was found in an area that we know to be wicked and horrible. So either that place is not as wicked and horrible as it seems, or the gods are not as holy as they claim. In Demon Souls, we got to see both of that, in that the final deity that was was giving everyone the powers of sorcery and of faith at the end of all of this, turned out to be a hideous monster. And a beautiful woman that was just and kind and was trying to help people and trying to care for the wounded and the cast-offs, the poisonous, the plagued, and the aborted babies. She actually was a really good person, even though it seemed that she was surrounded by evil. So I like that idea of mixing good, evil, light, and darkness. Let's head over here open this door with the key and have a chat with one of the best characters in the entire game. Third only in my book to Solaire Vestor and Andre Vestor is Hawkeye Go. Look at the bow he uses. Look how gigantic it is. It also looks like it's made out of bone. I love that, or some sort of horrible primitive material. Let's talk to him.
A visitor, have we? Thou must be the one who freed Artorias. An old friend he was. Thanks to thee, he left this world with honor intact. And here I am, retired and blind. Of little help to thee, I'm afraid. Dragons shall never be forgotten. We knights fought valiantly, but for every one of them, we lost 70 of our own. Exhilaration, pride, hatred, rage. The dragons teased out our dearest emotions. Thou will understand one day. At our twilight, old thoughts return in great waves of nostalgia. There's very little to be said. What good is a dog with no hairs to hunt? But I'm lucky to be alive, I suppose. But I'm lucky. Farewell, human. Lead thy life as thou seest fit. Good morrow. Is the black dragon posing thee duress? Yes, I thought as much. He's called Calamite. Ferocious dragon indeed. Even mighty Anna Londa dared not provoke his ire. I see little good coming from this, but thy intent is to persevere to the bitter end. Good, good. What is bravery without a dash of recklessness? I've taken a liking to thee, and I owe thee much for thy service to Artorias. Now, watch, and see how Goth hunts dragons. Yes. A truer shot was never loosed. That bat will be grounded for a good spell. The rest is in thine hands. I await good tidings. Dragon slaying. Knighthood's highest calling. Hello there. What of Calamite? He is an ancient dragon. Skyward or no, he will not be put down easily.
How can you not love Hawkeye Goth? He is truly an amazing character. I just love his deep, slow, thoughtful voice. And this was one of Gwyn's 4 knights, the other 3 being, I'll repeat it again, Kieran, Artorias, and Dragonslayer Ornstein. And he was the archer of the group, and he has perhaps the prototypical great bow, those gigantic bows that you have to anchor to the ground and fire harpoons from, more or less. And he would use that and had presumably a legion of archers, too, to hunt the great dragons of the past. We also learned there, I don't know if you noticed this, he said even mighty Anor Londo would not provoke his ire. I don't know if this is mentioned anywhere else, but Anor Londo seems to be the name of a person? Is that what they're saying? I don't understand. I thought that was the name of a city. I guess the city was named after the person, I suppose? Oh, that's a little weird. And you can buy tons of stuff from him. Dung pies, homeward bones, but more convenient to come here and get him from him than from the undead merchant female. And you can get his carvings to say fun stuff. Thank you, hello, we already got good job. More importantly, you can also buy green titanite, large titanite shards, which is important, and regular titanite shards. You can also buy Goth's great arrows. These are better versions of the great bows that we got in Anor Londo that they were using there. Those were pale imitations, those Dragon Slayer bows, to Goth's great bow. Let's see if it says anything. Great arrow used by Hawkeye Goth, one of Gwyn's 4 knights for dragon slaying, requires great bow. Goth personally crafts each stone tip and wraps the shaft tightly with tree bark. So they're actually stone-tipped arrows. That's kind of neat. That makes him add a little more primitive to him. And if we kill Calamite, we can actually get this, his bow, as a reward. And for some reason it magically sort of shrinks down to the point where we can use it. For some reason, I don't know what was going on there with that. And now that we have spoken to Go, we can go now and to the boss room, and there will be a fog gate there where there was not before, and we can officially do the boss fight with Calamite. And he is going to be walking around on the ground, making it more viable for us to fight him. You can technically defeat Calamite exclusively using a bow, and you have to sort of fire a great bow in the air, and it takes a long time, and you essentially have to have the Artorias Great Shield or Havel's Great Shield in order to block the fire attacks that are constantly coming at you. But yeah, it's extremely difficult, and the only reward you get is one tiny extra line from Go who tells you that you're an amazing, a truly amazing warrior. That's really all it says. It's nothing much. But let's go talk to Chester and see how annoyed he is with us.
Oh, you. You have quite some nerve, or are you just thick? Fine then. What is it that you need? Well, you've quite the nerve. I've had enough of you. Well...
So he's obviously...
I'll be seeing you, if you survive your travels.
So he's obviously not too pleased with us that we were able to defeat him. We're going to be killing him eventually, but not right now. I'm just about at half an hour, so I'm going to end the episode here, and I believe in the next episode I will be trying to kill Calamite, probably. So until then, good night.